Howdy, folks. I'm Brian.
I'm Amber.
She's an imposter. And here's some Reddit. So, what? What?
You keep telling people I'm an imposter and they want to get rid of me.
Well, one person said that I should expel you, evacuate you, or something.
I'm not an imposter. I'm the real deal.
You see, look, there's only an imposter could have such a puppy dog face.
No, I think the real Amber has a puppy dog face.
Our first story is titled, Am I a Jerk for Announcing My Pregnancy First? I'm a 26-year-old female, and I'm married to my dear husband, a 26-year-old male. And I have an older sister, a 27-year-old female, who we'll call K for Karen. For some background, Karen was the golden child, but my parents rapidly changed their tune when she failed university and started party lifestyle for a bit, no longer the case. Suddenly, I was the favorite because I finished school and had a moderately successful life. I think it's BS that my parents have and had favorites, and I largely keep my distance, but that's something that has troubled Karen a lot. So, dear husband and I recently got pregnant, surprise! And though I keep a healthy distance from my parents, we still talk. Boundaries are really important to have with them because they will trample over your entire life and privacy. COVID restrictions are a thing, and I'm not big on parties anyways, so I decided just to tell my family about the latest news during our monthly video chat last Friday. I was excited to share the news, but I didn't beat around the bush. Once everyone had finished catching up, I said dear husband and I had some news, and I said I was pregnant. My parents, sisters, and grandmother lost it, screaming and laughing and crying in joy. This is the first grandchild, great-grandchild, niece, or nephew, so they understandably had a pretty dramatic reaction. Everyone was excited except for Karen, who stayed completely silent the entire time. Once things calmed down a bit, I asked Karen if she was still there, and she said yes, but she had to go deal with something. I thought it was odd, but I didn't give it much thought. Later on, I get a text from Karen saying that she was going to make a pregnancy announcement then too, but I had ruined it. I should have asked her specifically before making the announcement because she, as the firstborn, should have been the one to have the first grandchild. That my child would get all the attention and love, and hers would be second rate. I sent her a text saying that I had no clue that she was pregnant and congratulated her, and that I was sorry that she didn't get to make the announcement when she wanted to. I then, quite possibly stupidly, asked her when her due date was. Karen said, "Don't worry, you're first," and has not answered anything since. So, Reddit, am I the jerk?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to go check with all your siblings to make sure they're not pregnant before announcing your own pregnancy.
Well, everyone knows, Amber, it's common courtesy that you always have to get permission from the firstborn child before you get knocked up. That's just common courtesy. And anything less, they probably shouldn't have even, done anything between the sheets, just to ensure that there was no worry about crossing over into the sister's territory here, because this was her birthright. She's firstborn. She deserves to have the first grandchild.
Yeah, no.
No, of course not. I mean, the thing is that you, in some twisted way, you can't necessarily blame Karen for being too upset, because she probably is not used to, she's probably still getting over the fact that her parents played favorites. And this isn't OP's fault. And Karen is probably really upset, and still carries a lot of baggage over the fact that she's now been kind of discarded to the side. And in that respect, she's going to have a lot of animosity and she's going to have a lot of hard feelings. And this is the parents' fault. And not to say that Karen can't change her attitude,
Right.
but, these are things that take time to work through. And, when you have parents who play favorites like this, it really is just does a number on kids, psychology. It doesn't matter how old they are, So, not to justify or rationalize, Karen's acting like a brat here, right?
Right, like no one is owed the first grandchild. Like it doesn't matter the birth order or anything like I don't know, it's just such a weird idea that because I'm first, I need to be the first at everything. Like I'm the oldest child and scratch it. I don't know where I was going.
Yeah, no. I think you were just saying like she's the oldest child, so she deserves to basically be the first one to have the child. But I think it goes deeper than that. I think where the real issue here is that she wanted the attention for herself.
Right, yeah, it was like to maybe get back on the parents' good graces or something, like get all the spotlight on her. Now their OP has another reason to stay in the limelight because she's having a kid.
And that's just it. It's like now, on top of all of OP's other accomplishments and successes, now she's also the first one to start a family. And Karen is probably worried that when she finally has a child of her own, that it's not going to get the same kind of attention and that there's not going to be the same, hubbub around it. And she's probably, in some ways, disappointed. And again, this isn't saying that she has any right to be, offended by this. But, when you look at it from the twisted kind of perspective that she has, you can kind of see why she would be upset by this, I think. So no, OP is not the jerk here. No. Her sister is certainly minorly a jerk. But her parents, in my opinion, are the worst offenders here.
I mean, I certainly think the parents are wrong for setting up this favorites dynamic, but you have to grow out of that. And so I still think Karen is a jerk. I wouldn't even just say minorly to try and trample over someone's announcement like that. Yeah. Like, if Opie had announced it at an inopportune time, like during Karen's, some sort of live event, then I would understand, but it was just a regular family video call.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good point. Probably Karen is a jerk, but I still rank her below the parents, personally.
Yeah, I don't know how to rank them. I just think they all three of those people kind of suck a little bit in this situation.
Before we begin, let's go to tea time. We haven't had a tea time in a long time. And today, I have a very special tea that Amber prepared just for me. Do you want to tell them all about the tea that you prepared for me, Amber?
Certainly. So, Brian's cup was sitting out on the counter and it had a tea bag in it. And I didn't take the tea bag out because I know he doesn't care. So I just put the water into the cup and now he has very watered down Earl Grey tea.
So there you have it, folks. Amber made me a cup of tea. You can't blame me for being a monster today. You can blame her.
Well, I was lazy. It's like 1,000,000 degrees in our house, and I didn't feel like walking to the trash can to throw it out. So I was generous and made you a beverage.
It's not 1,000,000 degrees, Amber. It's 1.2 million degrees in our house.
Our next story is, am I the jerk for telling my girlfriend I don't trust her opinion on my looks anymore after I saw photos of her exes? I'm a 28-year-old male, she's a 27-year-old female, have been together for 1.5 years and we live together. We have already talked about our past relationships, so I already knew she has 2 ex-boyfriends and 2 ex-girlfriends and a little bit about them. I was never jealous or had any weird feelings before this happened. She recently reactivated her Facebook account and scrolls on it before bed. At one point, she's like, "Oh, Samantha," her ex's name, "just graduated. I didn't know she was studying again. Good for her, blah, blah, blah." So I asked her to show me a photo out of curiosity, and she showed me, and I was really surprised.
Really surprised.
Her ex-girlfriend is not attractive at all, which got me off guard. My girlfriend is like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 and always looks amazing, so it just surprised me she would date someone for so long who looked like that. But okay, she says she was/is a sweet person, and I believe her, and I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I just imagine something different. But then, out of curiosity, I asked if she could show me her other exes, and so she did. We just looked at their profile pictures. One ex-boyfriend looks like a scrawny teenager, the other has a really big face and weird teeth, and the other ex-girlfriend is very overweight. My girlfriend noticed my confusion, and she took big offense to it and says she dates people for how they make her feel and not how they look and how personality is attractive to her. And I agree that those things are important things, but I did say that now I'm feeling insecure about my own looks because she calls me handsome or tells me I look good, but now I just can't believe it. Because now I know her standards aren't really that high, where before I was feeling, I guess, kind of proud to get a girlfriend who looks so put together. But now it doesn't really mean anything. She says I'm being a bit of a jerk about it because I said I don't want her to comment on how I look anymore. I just don't think I'm being a jerk. I think I just need time to process that she probably doesn't find me attractive or seem to care about that at all. For the record, I don't think she could possibly be a jerk for dating those people, but I just don't think I'm a jerk either.
Well, Amber, we could banty about here and say a bunch of things about OP, but, quite honestly, this comment says it the best. Would you do the honors?
You're the jerk. Wow, you are the jerk. But there's good news. It sounds like you're really attractive. I can tell because your girlfriend, who sounds lovely by the way, has dated other people for their personality, but chose to date you for your looks. Which must be spectacular to make up for the fact that you're a jerk.
And then, we were reading the comments beforehand.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, and then the next comment slides OP some aloe for the 5th degree burn.
You know what? Like, this is so ridiculous. Like, OP's like, hey, all these people look ugly that you dated. They're all just real ugly people. I'm afraid that I'm ugly too. Like, those are not... I don't even know. It's like, why, OP, would you do this? Why would you even say this? Like, if looks aren't important to your girlfriend, that doesn't determine whether or not you're attractive or not.
Right.
It just means that she was more interested in personality traits.
Exactly. And I think that, like, it's a... I don't know. It feels like he's trying to use his girlfriend as, like, an ego boost.
Yeah.
Because, like, she's so hot, so I consequently have to be really hot.
Yeah.
And then, like, when he realizes that, oh, wait, she actually cares more about personality, that just means I have a good personality. I'm not super hot, necessarily.
It's like, does it really matter at the end of the day if you found someone who makes you happy?
Right. Well, and the thing, like, don't tell me I'm handsome anymore because I can't trust your opinion. It's like... attractiveness is in the eye of the beholder, like you said. Like, she probably genuinely finds him handsome.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that if you were to take a survey of a sample of Americans, that he wouldn't necessarily be a 10 in all of their eyes, Like, who I find aesthetically pleasing may be different from who you find aesthetically pleasing, may be different from who our viewers find aesthetically pleasing. So she can genuinely think you're really handsome and attractive, even if your average person off the street wouldn't rank you as highly.
Yeah, well, and I think that's actually a really important point here, and that she may find characteristics and traits about these people that she does find attractive. And whether or not, some people are just not necessarily attracted to looks either. And I think that that's an important bit here. And again, like, just because someone isn't attracted to just because someone is more attracted to personality doesn't automatically mean that you are a good or bad looking person.
Right.
Universally. And I mean, again, like, I think OP is just putting way too much stake in this. And that they need to fix their attitude because it's gross.
Yeah.
Their attitude here is gross. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for making my father rebook my wedding venue at nearly the triple original cost after my stepsister canceled my original booking? The title basically says it all, folks.
Yep.
My stepsister impersonated me and canceled my wedding venue reservation. She's 18 and jealous. I got the reservations for a steal because I booked early and COVID made things uncertain. Well, now demand for wedding venues has skyrocketed. The venue now is asking nearly triple the original cost for the same date. They said they'll only honor the original reservation if I show proof that my stepsister committed fraud/identity theft in the form of a police report. My father has begged me not to involve the police, so I told him he'll need to cover the new cost then. All of it except the original deposit, because I'm aggravated as F. He is going to be selling some property in order to do this, and he has put down the additional deposit for the venue already though. I know that he wasn't to blame, but he houses her, and by asking me not to report her, I can only assume that he takes responsibility for her actions. Am I the jerk? I do feel guilty because my fiancé and I are much more financially well off than my father, but I just feel like this is not my problem to fix. He did find an alternative venue that was pretty nice and wasn't as expensive, but I said it had to be the original venue. I'm just incredibly mad. You know, this is a difficult situation in a lot of ways. Like, the father, of course, is not to blame for this situation, and, you know, their, is it stepsister?
Stepsister.
Yeah, stepsister is. But in a lot of ways, the venue is to blame for even allowing someone to cancel over the phone or something to that effect. Like, they should require you to sign paperwork at the very minimum or something to that effect, I would imagine. I don't know. Like, especially if it seems like with wedding venues, things like this happen or have happened a lot. And so a venue like this should be, like, more guarded against things like this, I feel like.
They probably should be, but I think with COVID, a lot of people have been changing reservations so
Yeah.
frequently that they probably have gotten a little more lax, assuming, oh, well, people are canceling.
Yeah.
Because I canceled our original wedding venue via email, or vow renewal venue via email.
But that was a well-known email address, too.
That's true.
And, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't stop someone from hacking your email address, but, like, that seems like a little bit more unlikely unless you're, like, actually breaking into someone's computer. But, like, I can certainly understand the venue not wanting to basically... I just think that they should have called them at a known number and confirmed that this is what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the best course of action for a venue to do, is to make sure that if someone's trying to cancel something, then make sure that it really is them trying to cancel.
Because, like, even, like, did you even get, you got a response back from them, I'm sure, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all they would have had to have done is said, hey, we got a phone call. We're just confirming that you want to, cancel your reservations. Can you please just say that, yes, you do want to cancel your reservations, or something to that effect, in an email. And then that way, because a lot of places have, like, this 2-step process where you do these kinds of things. So I'm not saying that the venue is entirely at fault here, but I feel like they should just have been more guarded against stuff like this, because we hear about these kinds of things all the time. It just seems like they kind of knew what they were doing.
Yeah, well, it sounds like they're in it for the money. Like,
Yeah.
now they can sell this date for 3 times the cost, so why honor the original reservation?
Yeah, and so that's, to me, it just seems kind of icky on the venue's part. They should have been a little more guarded against it and not been like, oh, we're now going to try, using this spot for 3 times the amount.
Yeah, because usually when you hear about one of these places where so they get canceled on wrongly, the venue will try everything they can to accommodate them. So it is really kind of icky that they're like, oh, no, we're just going to charge 3 times the amount.
Yeah. Is OP the jerk in this situation? No, not at all. And I mean, I can certainly understand OP wanting to get their original venue because that's what they originally booked. And the stepsister just needs to, like, I don't know, like... she just needs to pay for this. Like, I know that the father isn't well off, and that's the part that I dislike the most about this, is that he's kind of paying for her crimes.
Right, like, I don't like that it, but as OP says, like, he is the one who's being responsible for her, so since he's asked her not to involve the police, because OP could go to the police and file a fraud report, and so since he is trying to keep this out of the police, it then kind of does become his issue to compensate for it.
Yeah. Do you think OP should go to the police anyways?
Some people in the comments have some good points about why she should go. I don't know that I can say for certain one way or another, but there are good arguments about, one, if her father is selling properties to pay for it, there's no guarantee that he's going to be able to sell them in time to get the rest of the wedding money in order. Yeah. So it's probably would be it's a tricky situation, because I don't know what the outcome would be of filing a police report, but she did do something fraudulent, so.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone in the comments below has any idea about what the consequences of filing a fraud report against her would be. I can't imagine in this case that there would be anything serious to come from it. I don't think that this would be like criminal charges just because of the nature of it. I think that she might be fined.
Yeah.
I don't think there would be any jail time behind this, but I'm not a lawyer.
No.
And this is not legal advice. This is not Brian's legal advice. Yeah, I would think that going to the police would probably be the best course of action, to be quite honest, even after the father has, pleaded this, because she's really, like, if she gets away with it now and she knows her father's always going to clean up after her, then it's just kind of a matter of time before, she just does more bad things, I feel like.
Yeah, like, what is the consequence for her and all of this? It sounds like she's just getting shielded and he's kind of taking all the fallback.
Yeah.
And that does kind of breed it's still a bad idea in her that my dad or stepdad will always just take care of whatever I do, and so I don't have to worry. I can do whatever I want.
Exactly. Amber's gonna do our outro today.
All right, folks, that's all the time we had for today. If you liked this video, consider giving it a like. If you didn't like this video, consider giving it a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Except I won't be there, it will just be Brian.
It will just be me.
Bye!